Hello, everybody. Yes, Fred is on Mars. Now we just need huge drums and a big cinematic. This is just one multi. I'm just having fun with one of 205 patches in this library. So how fun is that, huh? Let me see here. Okay, we'll have that. Oh, we'll keep the artwork for the moment. Listen to those frequencies. Hello, everybody. Future Skippy here. Oh, my camera's not in the right place. Welcome. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. When all else fails, we'll just play black notes. Isn't that beautiful? Good stuff, Fred. Hey, welcome. We have a new library. My name's John Lemko. My microphone's distorting a little. Hold on. I try to get the right place so you don't see it. You know, some of these guys have their microphone like this, and like they're talking like this the whole time. So, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. You know, I've got a live stream, and we're here live, and I'm glad you're all here with me. And so, this is going to be really cool. But I don't like that. I don't like that vibe. So, I take this back a little bit, turn this down a little bit, get the test. It's definitely this side of the microphone. These microphones have one side that's definitely brighter than the other. Welcome. My name is John Lemko. This is our weekly live stream we do. I'm looking at all the stuff on my desk, trying to keep everything clean. By the way, I got this. Let's see, get the light on it. It's 3 sliders that are epically large. The company that makes this out of the UK. Oh, my mouse froze up, of course. I still have my issue. I'm going to buy myself for Christmas a new monitor that has, now my mouse, let's see here. What's going on here? My mouse is stuck. There we go. Okay. Unstick the mouse. Thank you. I kind of need that. This is a company, Ghost Note Audio makes this. GhostNoteAudio.uk. They have some really interesting audio effects, but if you go up here to their studio equipment, they have the conductor, which for $190 you can order, and it gives you 3. I wish I had more sliders. They need one that has 9. If I get this video to them to watch, please make one with 9 sliders. I want one for mod wheel, and then one, or actually 8. 8 would work because we set up the mod wheel as one of the 8 controllers inside of Unify. So I have this set. So this is changing the mod wheel, and then it's changing the last 2 sliders for the other 2. So when I move these sliders, you'll see in Unify, they're moving. You have to buy little rubber pads for the feet. That's another thing that is unfortunate. It has rubber surface, but when you put it on a desk, it slides around still. It's not solid. So I bought little rubber feet. See the little rubber feet? Let me see. Get my camera so you can see what I'm putting it. See these little rubber feet, guys, right here? I just put 5 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one in the middle, 5. And that way I can be pushing on it without having to have it held in place. And when we get to like libraries like here, I'm going to just show for a second in Purity. A lot of work in Purity has been done. Wait till you guys see what we're doing. This is coming out next Thursday. But here's, for example, one of the bowls. And then I can use these to interact. It's really been fun to play with. And then it has a little button right here that cycles. You see how it's red? Then it goes to green, and then it goes to blue. So the three knobs, they have a really interesting little web. Let's see if we go over here. If I go to my bookmarks, I want to go this over here. I go bookmarks, and I go down to this editor that they have. It's a web-based editor, and it lost the settings for this for some reason. I wish it would not do that. I wish it'd remember them. But I had this to CC 15455 so that they correlate with these. And then when I go to the blue and the other colors, they have the other ciders in the interface. So if I change to here, see, it lost the settings. They got to work on their saving of settings and stuff like that. But it's still a really nice slider. It's really, really nice. Okay, so back to the library at hand. Fred has created a library for Cherry Audio's GX80. And it's a futuristic library, so I'm being futuristic. I got my, if there's any day to wear my Synth Tweaky t-shirt, this is the day. So I'm wearing my Synth Tweaky t-shirt and my modern glasses, which are cutting into my skin, but I don't care because we're playing cool future patches. Aftertouch. Now, if you don't own the GX80, Cherry Audio are their family. We show all of their plugins. They're really, really nice. And they have given us an exclusive special price, which they have put to the whole store so that nobody's upset at them. But if you go Cherry Audio, let me show you. If you go to Cherry Audio to their store, if I just click store, go to their instruments. If you scroll down here, you will see that the GX80 is on sale for $45. Only until Sunday night. You only have 2 days of this sale price. So this is a special chance to save money to get the GX80 library or plugin so that when you buy this library, it works. Because without the GX80 plugin, this library does not work. Now, if we wanted to describe this library, Fred was inspired by the novels, the incredibly descriptive worlds created by Philip K. Dick in his books. And so the sounds in this get into all sorts of really cool territory. And if you call up the GX80 plugin, the way it works, for those of you that are curious, you need to put a folder. Let's give you a really quick tutorial. Here is the library. And if we open it, you will see that there is a folder for the GX80 plugin. This is the folder that you want to put in a special location. And that location, we go over here to my sample libraries folder and to Cherry Audio, which is right here, to the GX80, to the presets folder. This is where you put the folder right here, SA Electric Dreams GX80. When you run the plugin, it will make this preset database file that is not something included. This is just a folder. And inside the folder is 147 patches. So that's the layout for the GX80. Let me show you something really interesting. Let's get this back over here. If you were to call up other libraries, like if you click here, here's the patch browser. here's where you go through all the different categories, GX80 presets, right? And you play like, let's go to bass, basses. They're very stock. Very usable. Cool attack, and sits there. That's, oh, there's one with some rhythmic stuff. This is their outer bass. This is like maybe the moon. If you go over here to the Subsonic Art Electronic Dreams and you go to basses, whole different category of sounds. I mean, they don't have anything in their voicing that even touches even the more basic of these patches. And then you get into these things. It's the same plugin. They just didn't program it to do what it can really do. It's kind of like having a girlfriend and you stop at kissing her, you know? I mean, there's a lot more that the world don't talk about that. But anyway, Fred took this to the Mars, to all the way out there. And then you get to other categories like pads. They just have so much more stuff. It's just wonderful. So this is a library that's essential to anybody that owns the GX80 that wants actual deep patches that really show off what this plugin can really do. Again, if we go to the factory patches, let's go here to the GS80 patches, to pads. There's a nice one. It's a you know, they kind of cover the necessary bases. You got to have and if you find something that's really cool, the nice thing with Unify, if you're using this in Unify, which I highly recommend, because I could go to all those pads that he made. Like, here's a nice GX80 factory pad. I could go over here to Nunez Wallace and add that. And give them other dimensions. Right? So this library has 147 patches for the GX80. There's a Unify library that he has made. Fred loves Unify, and Unify loves Fred. It's a very nice relationship. Fred has pushed Unify as far as it can go. It's using custom artwork for every patch. In fact, when you go to Humanide's ARP, if you go to Misidentified Echo, totally different artwork. Super cool. Right? Really, really cool stuff. Every patch is got custom artwork. Since it's the irony that Fred and I were talking about this, kind of laughing. The irony that, you know, Philip K. Dick's novels are predicting the future with, symbionts and robots and AI and all the stuff that's used. This artwork is AI generated. There are these really cool sounds that Fred created using AI as samples that are they're inside of Guru Sampler. They are also in the library as a separate wave folder right here. If you go Electric Dreams Wave Special Effects, this has all of these atmospherics, voice, all sorts of, you go to voices, there's a whole bunch of categories of voice.
What's the name of an artificial being created as an exact replica of a particular human being? Are you a replicant or a human?
I have a present for you. Do you want to talk?
こんにちは。お元
There's
気ですか?
Japanese, there's Chinese, there's radio.
This is going to groove. Crazy about music. 还记得火星吗？你不想回到那里吗？
我叫阿海，你叫什么名字？
不要害怕明天，太空世界需要你。
And then you go up here to these really, really cool, these, where is it? Shuttles, next generation shuttles. You have all these sounds to create very vivid 3D worlds. So it's a complete library in that sense. There's over 500 megabytes of samples. They're 100% license free. 473 megabytes, sorry, but there's 250 samples. And those samples are also inside of the Unify library. So as you can see, they're here as just single patches to call up. They're also used in the multis. The effects, by the way, these are really cool effects made in GX80. These are precogs. There's pre-crime. And again, you can go to Unify and say layer and just like, let's pick a handful of these. Let's get Crimes of Passion and Mutations. You know? So you can create all sorts of really cool, textured, crazy things super fast in Unify. You can layer up to 24 layers of any of your plugins in Unify. That's why we love it so much. He's got keys, leads, these leads. And GX80 can respond if you have an MPE compatible hardware keyboard to Polyphonic Aftertouch, so it can do things really cool. You know, it's great. Great library. Then you get to the multis, which is what I started with. I was playing only one left at the beginning, which is a multi consisting of how many layers? 8 layers, some are off. So this is playing both Unify layers as well as samples. Isn't that cool? I mean, and just the echo, the reverb, it's just so lush. It's really, really great library. So Fred knocked it clear out of the park. It's available at the website. There's a link in the video description for the library. I'm not mentioning anything about Cherry Audio's special sale price on GX80 because it's only for 2 days. So if you were watching this after this coming Sunday, that would be December 15th. I'm sorry, but it will be off. They do have another thing. If you log into your account with Cherry Audio, the other way to get this is they have a buy 3 plugins for $99, which lets you get 3 plugins of your choice, which makes it even cheaper because it's $33.33 per plugin. So there's all sorts of great ways to get this if you don't have it. And it's available at the website. If we go over here, pluginguru.com, it's on the front page. It's the first thing that pops up. Just click here. New worlds await. Here's the GX80 library. Also, I have enabled, I don't know how easy it is to find this. I'll put this into the video description. Last year, we had a library from Fred That was available until January 15th or so, something like that. I think we're only going to go to January 5th. But Fred's Cyberclaws for Diva is back. 90 patches. It made its first appearance in 22, 23. I haven't upgraded the text, but it's now available for $15. So here is the link if you want to get this. This is for Diva. So if you don't own Diva from Uhi, don't buy it. It won't work for you. Electronic Arts is for Cherry Audio's GX80. We try to make it really, really clear that you have to have these plugins. If a library says for Diva or for GX80 in the name, that's our way of telling you that you need to have that plugin before that library you're looking at is useful. Okay? So if you want some really cool, creative, inspiring, Christmas-themed patches for Diva, let me show that really quick. I think I have it where I can show it. If I hit init and we go over here and say Diva. Let's see here. We go to the patches, which is down here. Presets. So under user, he has a number of libraries. But here above the clouds, Rudolfo. Some are happy and some are more dystopian. Udon Procession. I don't know if you guys seen some of the social media things of the Grinch running into the house and the little kids crying and freaking out. I actually put that on my Facebook. Let me see if I can find it. It's these kids are traumatized for life. I mean, I don't know if I would do this. I don't recommend doing this to your kids. I don't think it's a necessarily good thing. Let me see if I find it here. There's another thing we have to talk about in a second, and that's the horrible things TuneCore is doing. Let's see here on my Facebook feed. These kids are enjoying Christmas, and here, let me turn up the audio. Where's the audio? Oh, here it is. And look at these kids. They're just traumatized for life. Because this green Grinch is coming in to steal the presents, and he actually runs into the house and grabs a present. The kids are hitting him, and like... he gets a present. He pushes the kids off. I mean, it's just like, poor kids. Oh my gosh. He's got a present. He's running away. I mean, the things people will do in social media. My mouse is screwing up again. Thank you. Isn't that funny? Just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Really? You're doing that? Okay. Here, these things are killing my head, so I'm gonna. That's better. Get some more glasses. There you are. Hi. Welcome. So anyway, real quickly, there's something very devious going on. If you publish music, right, now these are steaming up. If you're publishing music online using one of the online distribution services, TuneCore is horribly the worst by far. They have a new opt-in to protect you. And if you click the opt-in, you are screwed for life. You are giving away your rights for the perpetuity of the 75-year copyright that they can do anything they want with your source. You can't get out of it. It's just heinous. Truly the worst of the worst. I hope this gets... Ben Jordan has made a big deal out of it. If you search for Ben Jordan on YouTube, you will see information about this. It's just... I use DistroKid. I hope that they don't try to do anything like what TuneCore is doing. There's a lawyer on YouTube that goes through the contract and details all this stuff. They're protecting you, but then they can sell it and do anything they want without your permission. So it's devious, 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 beyond devious. their contract is just the worst. It's like the fact they would put a contract out like that is so bold. Yeah, Top Music Lawyer channel. Yes, that's where Ben and Crystal are talking together about this situation. You see, I want to make it really clear, you guys, if you're releasing your music on these channels and stuff, make sure that you see this right here.
TuneCore sent an email to its
outrageous.
Users.
It's from the Top Music Attorney. This video is a must watch by everybody. Please watch it. What they're doing is just despicable, especially for they're the aggregator to help you get your source online, your music online. The fact that they're trying to protect you and now we can use your they're basically saying that they can use what you've created in any way they want without your permission, even after you're dead. The contract still is in place based on their contract. So, here's our chat. So, hi chat. They're trying to squeeze and give nothing back. Yeah, it's just super devious. So if you do any sort of online, I'm with DistroKid. I have 2 albums under the artist name Real Cool, RealKuhl. A Christmas album, by the way. So if you want some kind of cool remixed Christmas songs and stuff, check me out. But play me not on Spotify. Play me on music, or they're all horrible, I guess. So it doesn't really matter. It's all small percentages that they give you. Anyway, just be aware of that. That's something that I wanted to make sure that I pointed out. I'm trying to make everybody aware of this because it's just these guys need to be really put back in their place, and they, it's horrible. So be aware of that. Are there any questions about this library? It's really, really cool. The big AI swindle is on, and it's one of those things where it's I have all my demo songs on SoundCloud. I'm sure they've all been analyzed by AI. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. If you have any questions about this library, I'm happy to answer them. I was thinking maybe at the end we would do a demo together using the library. What about Purity? Yes, we'll get to Purity. I'll show you Purity. That's coming Thursday, and it's been great. We've had some fun. This week I recorded 2 other bowls, so there's now 3 bowls. But I want to give this library a few more minutes of screen time, of love, because Fred has worked. He's been working on this, I think. Fred, how long have you been working on this library? I think since December of last year. He's put an incredible amount of work. Patches of this type of nature. Sure, the knobs, sure. So he has some very special knob assignments, as you can see, for these patches. Let's call up a lead patch. Classical Future. The price is $32 for 147 patches, plus the over 250 samples, plus the unified version. It's like I said in the video description. It's listed there and mentioned. He has parameters set up to all sorts of hooks inside of the GX80. As you can see, it's multiple parameters. In some cases, it's the high pass for all the different upper and lower layers. And the low pass is equally set up to the upper and lower, so we can do both. And resonance. The GX80 is a replication of the CS80 from Yamaha. So it's actually 2 layers. It's 2 synthesizers basically at once. And so you have a balance control. Where's it at? It's right here to mix between the 2. If you move the mix knob, right, I don't know if this interface is so big. Let's shrink it a little bit more. So just click here and shrink it a little bit more. If I move this knob right here, let's see. If we want, we could say full range, turn on the ear. It should be this. He missed the lower, so. It's as easy to add any parameter in a plugin to Unify's knobs as hitting the ear and then moving it. And now it's got it. And if it's in the wrong direction, this button right here will invert it. So now. Right? I worked a lot on it. I can't say how many times, but Fred's been working several other sets in between. Some of those sets, yeah, he has some other things coming that are really, really incredibly cool. So we love Fred. We love to distribute his libraries. He's definitely our out-of-the-box programmer. So you have the mix, Brilliance, which is a specific kind of a control in that does kind of a filtering. There's a ring mod built into the GX80. So you can get into this kind of fun stuff. And there's more. If you go, let's see. Page 2, there's also delay. There's adding dirt, which is an additional layer that comes in. Watch your levels if you do this. I'm not exactly thrilled with the way he does audio auxiliary effects, and the volumes are supposed to be down and stay at one volume and not change, and you're supposed to change the send amounts, but Fred does things his own way. So, because what happens here is you're turning this up and you're bringing up lots of level and it overdrives the signal. Just be aware. If you want to set these more the way they should be used, you'd go like this, and then instead of mix level, go over here to the instrument, to the auxiliary sends, and do this for auxiliary 3. So this way you're controlling the send amount. That's the way you should be using auxiliary buses, but we don't make rules. You can use them any way you want. Just be aware that by the way Fred does it, when you bring up these channels, it's adding a lot of volume. So you might want to turn down the volume master. Work with. There's a pump house. Yeah, if you can't swing 77 for the GX80 and the library, that's understood. You know, this is the risk we take when we make libraries for other plugins, and there is that risk. Yes. Synstia is a really cool plugin from Brian Clevenger. DaVinci is pointing out correctly that I have not gone super deep into it. I haven't been able to get super deep into it because I'm making libraries. It takes the number of nights this week I've been up till 3 in the morning to get this ready, plus get the next library ready. It takes a lot of work. So yeah, I don't have time, as we'll see in a minute when I'm showing Chord Generator, which is a really cool new MIDI effect. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it either. Right, it is a risk. But in a case like this, when this is a library that is clearly taking this plugin to places, you know, I don't want to make Cherry Audio feel bad because they do a good job. Their voicing is really, really good. But this kind of voicing, you know, it takes a long time to get to this. From this, it takes a lot of work. And there's so much going on in these patches, but this plugin is one of those that can really support going to these places, so it's great. Yes, sound design is a thankless job. We get a lot of thanks. I gotta say, we are blessed. For me to sit here after, what, 4 years of doing live streams, and there's over 90 of you people around the world hanging out while I'm showing synth patches. I mean, it's a dream come true for me, so thank you. Yes, CS80 was really hard to program. Eric Persing has one, and I've played with it a little bit. And the thing about it that you don't see is that this has huge, huge power supplies in it. It will actually be a heater for your room. It warms up your room when you use this. If you use it for an hour, you're sitting there sweating while you're programming. And there aren't presets. They have different presets like this because it's kind of based on the Yamaha Electone organs. My mom and dad own an FX20, which is a smaller derivative of, I'm going to sample it one of these days because it's really, really cool. But there's no presets to save all of these crazy things you would create on it. That's why it was so amazing when you'd hear these really cool sounds. What's great with this is you can just push a button and every parameter changes. It's a great time for synthesizers. I mean, the amount of work taken to put this in and nail everything, the ribbon. It's got the ribbon control like a CS80 has. You know, it's a really, really nice plugin. So it's for $45 on sale, or even $59 for that is just nuts. It's nuts for that level of a synthesizer with that much control and polyphonic aftertouch with MPE keyboards and everything. It's really cool. So thank you again to Cherry Audio. They made a special page for the plugin group, but they also put on their website for everybody because they couldn't make it just exclusive just to me, because then they'd have other customers be upset. But it's a great plugin, and this library really shows up. Oh, thank you, Tom. And the tuning is stable, yes. Yes, so this is a very, very, very fun library. Again, these multis are worth a lot of attention in and of themselves just because really, really cool. Hey, let me see if I can show you a demo. I might blow up my computer. We always take that risk, but it's worth the risk. I'm going to load up Future Vision, a demo song I made. I want to show you the WAV files in use. So hang on a second. Don't. And like this. 1 second. So if I go over here and I say copy channel strip and I go back to this one. There, that should get me back. Hello. So we are playing inside of Logic. I have a demo song that I wrote for this library, and as you can see, it's using a lot of cool, interesting things. Oh no, go away, UA Connect. I don't want you showing up. Let me hit play and see what happens. Are you ready?
Are you a replicant or a human? Internet. Do you dream about being a human? Question from Dash 4. Do you know a certain individual who goes by the name Skippy?
Skippy?
He is a replicant too.
Most all of the tracks except for the drums are this library. The wave files, I just wanted to point out there's all these really, really cool, like huge hits.
Internet.
The voice stuff that's going on. Here's just the wave files by themselves.
Are you a replicant or a human? Internet.
Hear all the panning and stuff like that I'm doing. As far as to the library itself, it's only a multi and a bass patch. This, it's kind of funny. So here is this and this and this. No, this. These are the... I didn't need anything else but those three parts. Sometimes demos are way too thick, way too many parts. Hey, wave sequencer. That's our friend Paul. Hi, Paul. Anyway, the drums, I wanted just for fun. I'm using Microtonic. I love Microtonic. It's one of my favorite little plugins for drums. It's synthesis-based drums, which is perfect for this kind of thing. So it's here doing this kind of thing. And then I'm using also this is hi-hats from this is from Unify from this is from my Titan 303 library. It's a drum kit called Titan, which has all sorts of cool stuff like that. Oh wait, I got go over to Unify and turn this on. And someone was asking about chord generator. I have not shown that yet. We're having so much fun inside of future synthesis lands. I just want to show you this demo, give you some tips on ideas and stuff. So these two guys are doing the drums. Let's combine this with the bass. And that's all you need for this kind of track. There's so much going on. It takes up enough attention. You can have someone singing over the top of it or something like that, but use these sounds, depending on what sounds they are, find the place for them and don't get carried away, because these sounds have so much personality to them that you don't. It's kind of synthwave, kind of cinematic synthwave. I do not follow genres. I tried to do library music years ago and I was not genre enough. So I'm combining all sorts of stuff to do this. It's just skippy music, right? So, but anyway, to just give you an idea of how these sounds work. Oh, the other thing I want to show you, inside the library, there is a really cool that he made with AI of Tibetan monks. And then I have a couple interesting things. I have an LFO tool. And it's not. Wow. See, this is the challenge when you're. Let's see here. If I go LFO, I can't see if I go copy. It's not showing me the parameters like I would expect. How funny. But it starts. That's weird. I've never seen an LFO tool do that. Omnisphere I've seen do that, but there's automation. To bring up a pulse. So it becomes part of the rhythm. If you put this in with the bass, let's see, let's go like this, and the drums, and the other drums. Oh, wait, do I have to get back? So go like this. There, so. So it becomes a rhythm. So when you put that with you hear just this like. And I did some fun things where I was changing the depth. I bring the depth down and up and stuff. So if we solo this, just so you can hear what that does, don't let just stuff sit there. Make sure you're automating and. Right? Now, when you hear that in the mix, it goes down, now it's back up. Just sonically plays with your ears to not hear it be the same all the time. So anyway, this demo is very fun to play, to make, and stuff like that. I don't know if we'll have time because I'm getting kind of carried away showing this stuff, but yeah. So that came out really cool. Buddhism goes digital. Yeah, and it's not an Omnisphere sample. That's what I love. Because that the Omnisphere, the Tuvan throat monks that were sampled for a library called, what was that, Symphony of Voices, I think, and then is part of Omnisphere now. Those are sampled by Roby Duke in Seattle many years ago. Let's see here. So get this back like this. All right, let me show you a new plugin. Our wonderful friend Mario Nito World has released. We showed it. A lot of you that are into MIDI effects are big users and fans of Harmony Bloom. He has a new product, his second one. This is called Chord Generator. And it is for single note playing chords, but it goes farther than farther. It goes into some really, really cool territory. So let's do this. Let's play Magic Harp, because this would be really fun to show with all this kind of stuff it can do. Let's go to just the Berlin Studio Harp version, right? Now, because I have two layers, I'm going to use a MIDI effect layer, which is typically hidden. We have the little MIDI box MIDI effect on each layer, but Unify has MIDI layers that can be global. And the advantage of this, which is something that's like a pain in the buttocks to do in any DAW, is you can have one MIDI effect talking to as many layers of a big complex setup as you want. So I can go over here and I can say Chord Generator. And so that is now loaded up onto this top layer. And all I have to do is go to these two guys and say MIDI effect layer 1. And boom, just like that. It's now playing turn off the single note, you now have, I was like 12 different notes. And then you have presets you can call up that have different chords. Right? And if you want to change the notes of anyone, and it's using a strum. It's different per pad, which is wonderful. You can randomize everything just by hitting the big random button, and it will change between all these possible chords, which is huge. There's inversions and stuff. There's also a repeater. Let me find one of these that has. Each note can be on its own generator that's following a clock of your choice right here. So you can make chords and save them as presets. And so there's all sorts of different presets that they've made, you know, bright dance. Velocity controls for each note. And then you can turn these on. I mean, there's just so much power to what you can. So for melodies, I've been really impressed. I played with it a bit of time, so I know the basics of how this works. On top of this, check this out. There is the ability to change the colors of the interface, background and main. You can randomize so that it will randomize, and then you can save presets. I've actually made some presets. I've given them to Mario, so we'll see if he gets them. But one of them I made, check this out. I'll show you the parameters. Unify color match. So it fits the Unify color scheme. And so that's with 67 F8CE for the green, and the background being 1011 OD. So if you want to change the color background in the yellow spectrum, be around here and somewhere in the teal green here, and you can have a Unify color screen. Unfortunately, if you call up chord generator again, I don't think it remembers your color settings for the next time. He's working on fixing some things. I gave him a whole bunch of suggestions on things to fix, like things like that, where it could save it and call it up like as a default that it just saves so you can get back to it. And I wanted different colors for the different sections, so you could have these be one color and the pads could be another color. So this is version 1, but it's a wonderful plugin for those of you that want to play with chords. And it's available for 29 euros. So it's a very affordable price. So get that if you so desire. There's another plugin I can show you that came out this week that's free. Baby Audio loves to do free plugins for Christmas, it seems. And so if you go over to their website and you go to freebies, it's called Warp. And it's one of the modules out of Transit 2. So they do a big, it says Transit 2 from Transit 2. And it does like record speed up, slow down, and stretching. So it can do really cool things. It's pretty useless in Unify because there's latency that it's not compensating for and stuff like that. So it's not really a real-time effect because it's fairly heavy intensive-wise and stuff like that. Hey, Breathalyzer, good to see you, man. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So check this out if you want a free plugin that does record stops and all that kind of stuff. Again, I can show you. Let's do this. We can go over to like a drum groove. Let's go Red Bad Beats. And let's call up something like, let's call something that's got the whole groove going with the basement and all this kind of crazy stuff. let's go over here. Let's say baby. It's called warp. It just kind of freaks out with the clock and stuff inside of real-time use. But it will stop a record. If you turn on stretch, you get that break beat. Back in the 80s when I was back in the cities and I'm back, you know, you do that kind of stuff. No. It does have a mix of, I think if you set this to like percentages, like if you set to 50%, let's see if we try 50%, if it does it like to a tempo. Yeah. That's halftime. I love the credit card comment. That's funny, 16. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's doing this in real time. Because this, it's not changing. Okay, so free plugin for warping things, and it does warp. There's no doubt. So, thank you, Baby Audio, for making that. All right, so we got 30 minutes. I will spend 30 minutes on Purity. This is the next library coming. I'm very excited for this library. I've been working very hard on this library. I'll give you this really short summary as I try to figure out how to get my glasses to stop being on because they're just sitting here looking at me glowing. It's like, wear me. I'm like, no, I don't want to wear. It goes to a flashing, right? And then it's off. There, off, finally. They've been sitting there glowing at me the whole time. It's just like, kind of like, you know, Kit the car from, you know. So I did this library. By the way, there are 2 Electric Dreams that were released one after the other. And so Fred and I are tapped into the same universal flow. And so we didn't plan on this happening. They are not the same libraries. There is, if you go to the website, I just want to make it really clear. There's, let's go Plugin Guru. There is this Electric Dreams, and then right after it is my electric. I did it first, but mine is guitars, bass, and drums, whereas his is a GX80 trip to the universe and interstellar and beyond. Right. So I think you can map a chord to a different note. Oh, yeah, Sean, that's very cool. It's very flexible. I haven't played with it enough. There's a feature inside. Tell me this, because you've played with it more than me. I wasn't able to find. I thought he has. If we just call it up for a second, he has this ability that says capture, and I thought this was a capture to record chords that it would do assigned to the knobs, because when the Korg Oasis came out, when making combinations and patches, one of the things we had to program for every patch we made was the knob that had these 8 pads that could play drums on the drum kits, but it was playing chords that you could record. And I used to compose and write tracks and pieces and all sorts of stuff just using the 8 pads. And so I really thought I could go like this, play a chord, and then that would be captured to that knob and that key. It doesn't work that way. So I think this is a feature I'm going to talk to Mario about adding, because, well, actually, I'm going to talk to Wave Sequencer, because for Unify 2, I want to have a chord capture little thing so that we can do chord captures, and then all of our MIDI effects can do all this kind of stuff that we're doing here with Chord Generator. But that's something I want to add for Unify 2, because it was my favorite way to write, where you could you'd call up, let's go to Purity, and let's just call up one of the normal bowls being hit, like here. So the reason I went to Purity I actually wanted to do drums for the next library because I really got into making the drums for Electric Dreams, and I damaged my ears a little bit. And so as a result of doing that, I'm going back to something pure. So I was like, I want the most pure, beautiful sounds. So this is A2. So this is this note. In fact, here, 1 second. Let me go get him. Stay. These are my meditation bowls that are sampled in this library. You go there for now. You go here, and I need to get. Oh, they're right here. These, and I go get. Oh yeah. Okay. So 1 second. Let me get my ears plugged in. Where'd you go? There you are. In-ear monitors. I have an extension for my in-ear monitors from 64 Audio. I love these in-ear monitors. And I have an extension so I can plug and disconnect it if I have to like run to the bathroom or something like that. Having to plug it into my audio interface. Anyway, this is what I sampled. I have the mallets and played it like that, and there it is. So now I can play it on the keyboard. I can play other pitches. A big part of this library are these awaken patches, which is where it is played and it comes to life. Let me see if I can get these to wake up. You have to warm them up, get the rubber. Yeah, okay, now it's talking. So you can play it and then rub it. If I keep rubbing this, it will get so loud it distorts the microphone. See, it's just the purity and the power of these bowls is incredible. And I have 3 bowls. That's my A2. And then I have, I love that. That's the Awaken sample. Here's the hit from B2, which is my little purple bowl. And there's a couple ways to awaken these. One is with a rubber stick inside. The other way that makes a really cool sound is these sticks that come with it that you rub on the edge. And you hear that kind of grindy sound. It takes a lot of careful technique to get it, but that's with the grinding. Here's with more the normal technique. So this is the E2 bowl, which is right here. And it's actually tuned to, was it 332, I believe? So I had to adjust the tuning. We can get all sorts of really cool sounds from these. So I've captured a whole bunch of sounds. They're kind of soft because these types of sine waves, when you play chords with them, they can get very loud. But it's a pure, unbelievably pure tone. Right? Isn't that pretty? So I've sampled now all 3 bowls. I have the hits, that are round robins for A2, B2, and for E2. I haven't mapped them across the keyboard yet, but I will. And then I have a whole bunch of other things I have done. These awakens are the ones where you're rubbing to. And if you start using effects and so forth, let's see, is this talking to here? So they're beautiful. Now, as you can see, I'm awakened with a credit card. What's that? I had a credit card buzzing on the edge of the bowl. And with a high-pass filter, you can have just this high energy of credit cards vibrating on a meditation bowl, and then combine those with like a cool, let's say, solitary darkly pad. I made some really cool synthesis pads and stuff to layer with this. Without the credit card irritating the meditation bowl. This is from Zebra 2HZ I sampled. An incredible synthesizer. And then the bowl. So I'll be making some patches like that. I haven't made a lot of those yet. Here's paper. To just give you some other things. And then this is fun. I have a few more of these that I'm processing still, but this is with whispers. I'm going... while rubbing at the same time. It's kind of like chewing bubble gum and walking and rubbing your tummy. And I looped it expertly. So it just sits there. Isn't that cool? So there's also another thing I added are rolls. These, they start with a mallet. And to play this way, you use the mallet. Where are you at? Where'd you go? Ah! Where'd I put my mallet? Oh. You play the bowl, and you have to be really relaxed, and you let it bounce inside the bowl. And so I sampled that both fast, slow, and then I did one more with fingertips, which is really cool. So here's the rolls. Again, you can use the high pass filter just to have that tingle, and then layer it with anything else. Let's layer it. Well, I'm not gonna. You get the idea of what we can do, right? And then here's fingers, which is really cool. Here's on the E2. So some really cool other sound designy things, which, you know, you can put this through effects and all sorts of stuff. And if you change the attack of this to be slow, These are just the effects built into Unify. Right? You can take that and put that with any of these pads, like Love Bomb. And then you can do other things, turn on the pump house. Let's make it be like a rhythm. Let's say like this. All sorts of cool places. So this week, is my week of patch design. I'm at 71, and most of these are new samples. So it's really, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So you have on top of these real bowls, which is the star of the show in my opinion, because these sounds just are just so beautiful. But I also have sampled some sounds from other software synthesizers I own that if you layer this with, like, say, the all hits, and that's with no effects. It's just the samples. You know, we have a thing in the sound design world where we smell good source. I'm talking with my friend Jack Hotop, who's a programmer for many years with me on all the Chord synthesizers, and I'll play something in front and he goes, "Ooh, I smell it. I smell it. I smell good source." So this is really, really good source. You don't need effects. You don't need super massive and stuff like that to the samples. Are really, really, really good to start with, right? So there's all the bowls, there's bells. Oh, the other thing I got to show you. This is really cool. What are the dimensions of the bowl? It's A2, E2, and B2. I don't know the dimensions. I don't have a tape measure here, but the smaller one is probably about 8 inches across, I would think, somewhere around that. But the other thing that I did that I need to explore more that I've put in here, I played the bowls as rhythm instruments where it might be sacrilegious in some Buddhist sects to do that with your meditation bowls, but I did. So that this is E2. And then I've recycled these so that they are already recycled and a MIDI file is playing it. And then we have a top secret, it's a covert relationship. It's illegal in any other plugin. We have this note to chorus with Guru Sampler where we can tell it when I play different notes, instead of transposing the notes of MIDI, I wanted to transpose the transpose setting. So this chorus goes up and down as I play different notes on my keyboard. And then with Unify, we have other illegal, horrible things we can do with samples where we can use 8 layers and a poly box, and now I can play these polyphonically. So I could go over here to another library, go back to Titan 303. Let's go BPM drum. Let's get a groove, like push it. And then I could go back to purity. I could have little bells. Let's go over here to the hits. Let's say hit round robin. Actually, let's go up here to the one where it's round robining between all 4 hits. All 4 hits. Let's load that as a Unify layer, and let's load in really quickly blue ARP. Set it to random, and let's change it up to be a little bit on and off pattern. So it all works together. Let's get a pad in here. Let's say, let's do purity, which is really pure sine wavy. Let's turn it down. Underneath all of it is that. Isn't that cool? So I'll make some patches like that as well. Let me show you. There's a couple other ones. I did how many loops? There's that one. There's sustained out. I'm going to actually work on samples to stretch them so that there's more time in them. But here it is as a polyphonic. Here's one where yeah. Now I haven't made a polyphonic, so let me show you how to turn anything into polyphonic. So all you have to do is go here to the MIDI effects, and I want to say Polybox 8. So it puts a Polybox as a MIDI effect up here, right? Set to 8, so it's ready to take off and play. All I have to do is connect this layer to Polybox and set this to MIDI channel 1 instead of all. That's all I have to do. And then the last step is to go over here and say make 7 more. Next MIDI channel will automatically advance to the next MIDI channel. So now it's 8 voice polyphonic. So this way, what it's doing, each layer is allowed to play this pattern, right? So I've got this pattern. MIDI box is transposing this one layer's coarse tuning. See how it's changing the coarse tuning by what note I play? That's something MIDI box and Guru Sampler, I talked to Shane, explained the concept, and he implemented this for me so that we could say 8 layers, and then it's 3 steps. Connect this to the MIDI effect up here. Change your MIDI channel to 1 so that it knows that it's starting at MIDI channel 1. And then go over here and say next 7. That's all you have to do. And now monophonic synth can play 8 voices of polyphony of that sound. It's super, super cool. And then I have some other ones still to... there's this one to clean up. Oh, here's the 4 voice or the 8 voice. So, the library's come a long ways. I've done some fun stuff. I always try to, you know, find new things and advance things. Here, let me show you. I made galaxies. This is one of the really cool. This is kind of a finalized patch with everything. So. Takes you. If you don't have audio, reload or something because it's working. Nice, huh? more. So it just sits there. Turn out your lights, get the galaxy projected on your ceiling. It's got a cool little pump house rhythm happening. Where's it at? In, yeah, here. It's my LFO. I'm torturing my LFO. So, really, really cool. I have a whole lot of bonus patches. Did you see I only have 4 Z patches? So there'll be probably 40 by next Thursday when it comes out. But I'm pretty happy with my sample set. I'm pretty happy. I've looped everything. It's about 2 gigabytes. Check this out. If we go over here to libraries, let's call up Endless Wave. This is the looping tool that I use. I can go to the samples. Oh, there's one more sound to try. I think there's time, so we'll try it. But look at this. So if I go over here to my work folder, all of the, let's see, I call them rubs here, I believe. So if I go to the rubs, these are the samples that are a single sample. Let's see if I want to make sure you can hear this. So if we go over here to OBS. So from the start, there's the tap. It starts to waken up. I let it go for quite a while. Here's the loop. And you can't tell. I'm very good at looping. I've looped a couple million sounds at this point in my life, so I know how to get good loops where you can't tell where the loop is. It'd be very challenging if you were not looking at the waveform to be able to tell where these loops are at. And that's the same with all of these. I'm really happy with, let's see here. Wait, no, don't do that. If I'm over here and I say Command Shift next. So as you can see, everything's looped. So if we start the beginning. Everything's got really nice loops. If you have this tool, this is from Bjorn Barr. These are the 2 magic loop settings. This the far right one I use this the most because it does no amplitude gain. If you hold down Shift, you can click and drag, and that's how you create your loop start and stop. And then you just drag this for your crossfade. And then it will show you in the waveform display. And then I adjust this to where I don't see the pinch because that's a phase cancellation. I don't want that. And as you change to the different types of, most samplers do a crossfade loop like this. And you hear right in here, you hear a phrase where it's canceling. And what's great is that with this tool, there's no phase cancellation. And if you're playing synth sounds and stuff like that, it's even more noticeable. So I'm going to say go Command Next. Don't save. Because I want to keep my loops exactly how I have them. Anyway, I have one more sound that this is probably going to be embarrassing. I don't even know if I'm going to. We'll try this. Where is it? This is the Skippy Monk sample. I did a couple samples where I can't sing. I'll be the first to admit I cannot sing, but I tried. I tried to picture myself as a monk. And here, let me put this into a folder so that if I use this, I'll share it with you. There's no guarantee this is going to be in the library. I haven't played it yet. I just made it this morning. Where's it at? Date modified. Let me show it to you. in its raw form. Let's see if we even want to try to load it in Unify or not. But here's Skippy as a monk. So I used effects because the original is in green over here. Let's see if I go like name. Actually, it's purple. Where's the purple ones? Right here. This is what I used. Are you ready? This is embarrassing, but you know, I'll share. I don't care. But I was playing and doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, Fred's or Ivar's leaving. It's that bad. But let's see if it works. Let's try. So that's the dry version, and then you heard the process. So I need to go over here to date modified. Let me put it's E2. So we'll go E2 at the end of the name. And then we use Bjorn's sample mapper. And I drag this over. And I say get from the end of the name and import it. So it imports it. It assigns it to E2 automatically. It's not looped right now, right? So go save SFC as, let's call this is a bowl. Let's do awaken and Skippy monk. This is funny. Okay, so it's there. So if we go up here to, let's do like awaken with credit card, and then we open up Guru Sampler, and instead of, we go down here to Skippy monk, and might be cool. If we like layer, let's try layering it with like the crescendo of solidarity. But it needs to be looped. So let's loop it. So let's drag this over here. We'll put this into endless wave. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what Skippy did. First thing I do is I zoom all the way in on the very beginning to make sure that my attack is good. I'm going to move the sample start out of the way because one cool thing that is in here is you can determine where you have to start, and then you can use this as a fade in tool. So I can have it fade in just a little bit. So I have no DC click on the attack. So we'll fix that first. And then if I look at this, I'm going to want to probably loop it somewhere in here. So I'm going to hold down Shift and click and drag. Now here's with no crossfade. This is what it sounds like, just so you know. When it hits the end, it pops back to here. And it's just an immediate pop. There's no, the crossfade, if I bring this crossfade, you see how it brings a crossfade at the beginning. What it's doing is it's taking this portion and it's doing like brain surgery and injecting it into the end so that it naturally has a fade of bringing this in, so it makes it seamless. Now this is using the standard crossfade that samplers have, which sucks. So you can hear how bad it is. Let's change to maybe the special shape. See how the volume comes up? I'm going to adjust this just a little bit and maybe get a little bit later in here. I'm doing vowels, and so I'm moving around my mouth, right? So I want to make sure I get some of that, so that we'll try like this. See how it's perfectly smooth? I actually ran out of breath. So let's go in here a little bit like this so that I keep my energy of my speaking. Maybe it'll do a little bit less so it's not quite so much like I'm playing two things at once. And that don't work. So we'll make it a little bit longer. Yeah, that's not bad. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to duplicate this before I fix it, just so I have a backup of it if I want to like go back and fix this, because this might not be what I want to keep. But wait, you have to play it in the keyboard and listen to it and see if it's bad or not. So I go Command-Shift-N, which means go to the next sample. And by doing that, it asks if I want to save. And if I say yes, it automatically will delete the end of the sample. It'll automatically delete the space at the beginning of the sample. I'm going to say yes. Now, if I play this now inside of Guru Sampler, let's have this go away. No. If I play this inside of Guru Sampler, you will notice that it's not looping yet, because there's something inside of what we're using for this to work is that there is a file that is made. When I saved in Sample Mapper, it saved this SFC file, right? Well, I need to update the SFC file to have the new loop information. And it just so happens, since I didn't delete it and it's still right here, all I have to do is hit the load button and say, hey, update. I've changed these things. So I say, update all the files in this group. Boom. Now this has loop point information injected into it. So I can hit Command S. And now when I call it up inside of here and I go away from one and I play back, now I'm looped. Yeah. All right. Good to see you, Paul. Might be cool when you layer it with stuff, you know? Oh. I don't know. It kind of takes it somewhere else, so I don't know if that's going to make the cut or not. But that's how you do it if you want to do it. So anyway, this will be coming out on Thursday. I can't tell you how much I love this library. It's got such a great vibe. And there'll be all sorts of real. I think Skippy Monk might not make it. Sorry, I just, you know, everything else is so unique and special with this library. I don't think Skippy Monk quite mixes the vibe. But it's worth a try. Anyway, thank you for joining us for this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. I appreciate you all being here. And hey, don't forget, you got 2 days, today and tomorrow, until midnight tomorrow night, to get the GX80 from Cherry Audio for $45. And then you can get the new library that we've released with Fred that has all these really, really cool GX80 patches. That is Electric Dreams. And it's available at the website. It's on sale for $32 instead of $42. So you can save money on it as well for getting all 147 of the patches. I spent the first half of the live stream showing you it, so I won't go back. But it's really, really great. Came out so good. Oh, let's see here. How do I... Uh-huh. I'm just rocking out with everything here these days. My goodness. So if we go here to remote, there. Okay, we're back. It's like, had all this comment and stuff. All right, if you have any questions, Taylor and myself are available at Unify support at pluginguru.com. We are here to help you through any questions you might have, any challenges with Unify, our libraries. We even help you with other people's plugins if we can, or else we'll connect you with the people that are, you know, behind the plugins and stuff like that, and installed it in Unify, but it didn't. Yeah, there's no license code for the Unify version. It's just a .guru file of the presets. If you update the patches, it'll overwrite them. It's totally okay. For these other, you know, for the big sample libraries and stuff, we do the licensing. But for the bonus unified libraries, we don't do a license so that it doesn't get more complicated, makes it easier and stuff like that. Yeah, there's Taylor. Taylor, thank you for joining us as always. He's my assistant and always helping out in really great, important ways. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week for our Christmas live stream. This was our futuristic cyber live stream. Next week will be Christmas with pretty bells and bowls. That's right. Marcel started it. Shout outs from wherever you are in the world. Shout out from Eagle, Idaho here. We got Michigan. We got the UK. Andy, good to see you, man, in the UK. Awesome. Dover, Florida. Hi, Tom. Good to see you in Florida, man. Stay safe. Finland, the Netherlands. I just love that we are all connected. We all love music and all love sounds and stuff like that. Cambridge, UK. Germany, snowy white Germany. The Chicagoland of too much pizza. I want pizza. Ooh, that'd be yummy. Yum, yum. Shout out from Poland. Good to see you, Les. France, Tennessee. You guys are all over the place. It's just awesome. Lemon Delight in Germany. Hi. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. Well, we'll see you next week for the same 12 o'clock p.m. starting time. We do this every week. And we thank you from Mars. Craig's out on Mars. That's funny. I love it. And yeah, Fred, of course, is somewhere on Mars. He's on Mars. So thank you. Hey, real quick, shout out to Fred. I'll type a shout out. Shout out to Fred. He knocked it out of the park with this library. It's just so fun. Here, we'll go out on some cool. Let's go down here to one of these multis. Let's see which one looks interesting. Oh my gosh, and it's my daughter calling me. Hi, honey.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm on my live stream for a couple more minutes. Here, just hang on a second, okay?
No worries. Call me back.
Okay, I'll call you back. Here, let's do Miracle Child. That sounds fun. So, takes a minute to load these because there are so many layers, so much stuff going on. This has groovy, dark room. Let's get our groovy going. Look at all these things that come on. Just gone somewhere else. Cool. I think the dark room has showed up. So much fun. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for the support. We appreciate all of you very much, and we'll see you for another fun time next Saturday, okay? Be well, everybody. Bye. And don't forget, TuneCore, do not opt in on their protections because they are not protecting you. They are doing the opposite. It's the worst. Evil, 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 evil.